Hey Troop Guides, I'm going to show you how to do a woggle based on a method that works really well for me. It may not be what's best for you, but I have found that this has been one of the easiest methods to teach. I am using it based on the Turk's Head instructions, and you can find those instructions along with several other varieties in the Woggles folder underneath the Troop Guide folder in Box. And it's definitely a pretty accessible set of instructions for you to find what works best for you when you're teaching your patrols during course. So you need about 3 feet of paracord, and there are 2 ends that I have on there, and one is a lot flatter and has the white piece of the inner cords showing. So I'm going to call this my starting end and my leading end. And I find that I say leading edge instead of leading end, but if you hear me do that, I mean the leading end. All right. So to get started, I take the starting end and I'm going to put it back behind my thumb and have it start back here, right? And I'm basically going to work in 2s. So I'm going to wrap around the first and middle fingers here, the first 2 fingers. I'm bringing the leading end and wrapping it once. When I'm done with this, the first 2, I'm now going to wrap around the middle 2. So I have my middle and my ring fingers together. And if you can't do them together, just know that you're wrapping around these 2. Okay? And once you've done that wrap, you take the leading end and you're going to thread it through where the starting end comes across your palm. So you'll thread it underneath just like this. So what we have so far, we have the starting. I wrapped around the first 2 fingers. I've wrapped around the middle 2 fingers. And then I've tucked underneath this starting end right here. All right, once you have these all settled, you're going to bring the cord around behind your pinky, and this is where I kind of make my fist. I close my fingers, and so I'm working from this point of view right now. And you'll see that this piece, the leading end, is over here for now. I'm going to show you on the back are the wraps that we made previously, the first 2 fingers, the middle 2 fingers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen them up a little bit and give me some space. And what you'll see this does, it gives you 3 loops. You have the first finger loop, you have the middle finger loop, and you have the ring finger loop. And what we're going to do next is basically weave in and out of these 3 loops. So I'm going to take the leading end, and I'm coming from the palm side, and I'm going to thread it through the ring finger loop. And when I'm done there, I'm going to take the leading end, and I'm going to thread it back through to the front through the through the middle finger loop. Okay? And then I take it one more time, and I go through the loop on the pointer finger, or the first finger. So now it kind of, you see this piece right here is kind of weaving in and out of the cords and the loops here. And it kind of gives you this braiding pattern, and we'll go from there. And if you notice, it comes back on the end and meets up with the starting end. So what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to take this off gently. And what you'll see is that there's this middle section right here. And I'm going to reposition that on my first finger. This kind of just gives me a width to kind of work around. And I'll start tightening the rope up. And you'll see that it just kind of tightens up a little bit here. And it gives me some room to work around moving forward. All right. So I'm now taking the leading end, and I'm going to now just follow that starting edge right here. I'm just now going to follow it and continue to weave. And as I go through, you'll see, right, I'm going to just keep following it through. And I'm following that, this this piece now here. I'm going to just keep turning it. That piece out of the way. And so I'm following this piece right here to my underneath. Come around to this piece where my thumb was. I'm just continuing to follow that single strand that is there. Just keeps weaving. And so I have a single strand coming across here. And here. And you'll see I'm running out of rope sort of quickly. And that's because of how much space I've left in the middle. But if you notice, I've now come back up here and it basically is starting 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. So I've gotten back to my start. And so at this point, you just start tightening it up and pulling it tight. And I'll just start with here's my starting end. So I just start tightening it up with the starting end of it and just follow the ropes through and pull it a little tighter. And you just work it through and everything should now be in place. And it's just a matter of pulling it and following those longer pieces through because you're wanting to make it a tighter rope. But yeah, this is the basic instructions or the Turk's head instructions for creating the woggle. Sorry, I went off the screen. And again, I find this method to be one of the easiest methods for myself. It's all based on your learning style. And so there's other options out there for you that you can look at to see which helps you instruct your patrol when it's time for our first DIN meeting on course. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know. But here is your two-stranded Turk's head or your woggle for course. Enjoy. Good luck.